Hi everyone, my name's Kerry and I make random crafty things, and today I'm going to be turning this into something a lot less practical but hopefully a lot more fun. So first things first. To make this box a little less beige, I'm going to use some wood stain on it, and because I don't want to stain my tablecloth or the table, I'll do it on this cutting mat. We will go from this to this, which doesn't look like a massive difference on camera, but it's definitely added a sort of more antique woody look. And I finally remembered to wear gloves, and no, they definitely don't make me look more like a serial killer. Anyway, this is now wet because I've just stained it, so I'm going to put that to one side and start on the next thing. The next thing I want my mimic to have is teeth. And I thought that this sort of glow-in-the-dark Fimo clay would be really great to make some teeth. I've learnt from north of the border that it's good to make these in advance to make sure that they're really hard and dried before you try to sort of stick them into the gums, and it just makes it easier. So I'm gonna rip this open, and then I'm probably not even gonna use half, so I'll just put the rest of that packet away. This is oven baked clay. The rest of the clay I'm gonna use is air dry. Just because I don't think it's a good idea to put a wooden crate in the oven, but these ones can go in the oven and bake beforehand, so I'm just going to rip tiny little bits off and kind of roll them into cones which look a bit teethy, and I'm going to do different sizes and shapes. So these took me way longer than I expected, so long that my camera actually overheated and stopped recording for a bit. That's probably a blessing for you guys, so now I'm just going to put these in the oven. Those of you that have been watching my videos for a while will know that I have done some prep work for this, and these are some resin eyes that I've made previously. I've picked out the best ones, so I'll be using those. And I also want to make this chest look like it's been waiting around for a while, so I've got two different colours of flock, sort of browny green and a brighter green, and I'm going to add some moss to this a little bit later. And I've also got a fun few ideas for the outside of the chest, even though most of it will be inside. So I'm just waiting for the chest to dry and the teeth to come out of the oven. There's a phrase I never thought I'd say. And then I can carry on putting my mimic together. Okay, I've got my dried chest, my teeth out of the oven, the resin eyes that I made earlier. If you want to know how to make these, or how I made them at least, I'll just pop the video here. The flock, which if you want to know how to make this, I will pop the video here. A few packs of this air dry clay. As I said, I don't think popping this in the oven would be a good idea, so let's get started. I think what I'm going to do first is kind of put a base of clay all around it. Maybe try to build up a sort of vague shape. What I'm going to go for is teeth around these edges and these edges, trying not to sort of overlap them so that the chest can still close. And then a few of the eyes at the top, and the bottom I'm just going to try and make look like you're sort of diving into the mimic's mouth. I started by grabbing lumps of clay, flattening them and then smushing them onto the lid. I started with the lid because it seemed a little less daunting. So I am trying to smooth these down, but I'm actually not too bothered about getting it perfectly flat because I think that would just add to the sort of fleshy, mouthy feel to it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and go back to the time lapse. I got these sculpting tools. I think they came free with something I ordered from Wish or Amazon. And I kept hold of them because I'm a hoarder, but now they're finally coming in useful. I'm mostly going to use this sort of ball stylus one just to make sure that I can get these bits of clay right into the corner. So I'm going to use them just to smooth out the corners a bit because I can't really get my hands in there without sort of nailing the clay. Now I'm quite happy with this base layer and the sort of fleshy texture. I am going to sort of decide where to put a few of the eyes now. I probably won't use all of them, but I'm gonna sort of draw a divot where I think there should be an eye, and then use this stylus to make the fleshy texture go around that. So that when I do pick an eye and push it into place, the textures are already sort of in the right place to go around it. And I'm gonna do that a few more times. So I think I'm happy with this many eyes. Obviously it's going to be that way up, so that when you open the box, you're being stared at. I'm going to add some eyelids to each eye by rolling up a very thin wormy dealy. And having one below the eye and one above the eye, and then I'll sort of just blend these in a little bit. Now, I do wish that I would have covered the eyes, or maybe even saved them till last and somehow glued them back on at the end, because they did get covered in clay and then paint, and it was a little bit annoying to clean them at the end, but it worked out okay. And then it makes the eye look like it's actually coming out from this, well, what's going to be essentially like a flesh wall. So I'll go ahead and do those for all the eyes. What I want to do now is sort of put some gums around the outside to actually hold the teeth. So I'm going to make some sort of sausages of clay, put them around the edge, and then blend them in to make sure that they stay stuck. So here I'm just making sure that I'm blending it on the top of the gum as well as underneath, so that from whatever angle you look at it, it looks like a real gum. So I'm going to pour these out so I can see what I have. I'm going to pick a few out and plonk them down where I think they belong. Okay, so I'm basically there, and what I've been doing is sort of picking out pairs of similar looking teeth. None of them are the same, obviously. So I picked out pairs to go and make it symmetrical, and then I've picked out a sort of almost matching pair to go on the bottom, so that similar teeth are in similar places on the top and the bottom. What I need to do here is very similar to the eyes, and make little wormy dealies around the base of each of these teeth, so that it actually looks like they're coming out of the gums rather than just plonked on top. So I'll go ahead and do that now. These are what they look like now. This is what it looks like afterwards. I think it reads a lot more as realistic teeth. What I'm gonna do is leave the top to dry before I start on the bottom, just to see how much shrinkage and cracking I get. So it's the next morning. I don't think it's entirely dry yet, but there is a little bit of cracking, and it has come away from the edge a little bit. But to be honest, it's done better than I thought. So to reduce the amount of clay I need in the bottom of the box, and so that I don't add too much more weight to it, I'm using some kitchen foil just to add some mass to the bottom that I can put the clay on top of. Similar to what I did on the top of the box, on the bottom of the box I'm just grabbing blocks of clay, flattening them out and smushing them in. It's helping to stick the foil in place, and it also is helping to build that sort of cone shape so that you can look like you're diving into the mouth of the mimic. Finally got it done, and I will leave it to sort of half dry, and then I'll add in the gums and the teeth like I did with the top. So I contemplated taking this bit out, but I thought you guys can learn from my mistakes, so here we go. So I stopped pretty much as soon as I started. I put one tooth in, tried to shut the box, and then realised that even when there's a gap, the teeth are going to hit on the gums that I've just made. So I think in this bottom section, I'm going to have to be gumless. So all of that time that I've just put into making this and merging it in, I'm going to have to take it all off. So in hindsight, I could have thought ahead and made the gum sort of grooved so that the teeth would fit together, or I could have put all the teeth in the bottom, so the bottom is the mouth and the top is sort of the face with all the eyes, but I'm going to use what I've got. And so what I decided to do was just add a few teeth in the bottom of the box, sort of like it was chewing you once it's lured you in, and I think it turned out okay. I then wanted to add some texture to the bottom of the box to make it look a bit more throaty. So I rolled up some sausages of clay, smushed them on the bottom, and then kind of moulded them in. Unfortunately, I blocked the camera for most of them, so here's the best clips. Okay, we are back. This is completely dry. Still, this might actually not be attached to the bottom, but I'm going to look at it as a feature rather than a bug, and say that if I ever do want to take the bottom out to make it more practical, that's an option. So what I'm going to do now is pop that to one side, get a wet palette, which if you don't know is basically just some damp kitchen roll in a container, and it keeps your paints from drying out as you use them. And I'm going to try and mix together pretty much any paints that I can to make whatever a mimic throat flesh tone is. So I'm basically just going to squirt the paints in, mix them together, and hopefully come up with something that I like. Okay, so I've got this purpley colour that I'm quite happy to have as a base tone. I think it's kind of good because it's sort of like a mid shade, so I can put shadows and highlights on it quite easily and make a lighter and a darker version of it. So I'm going to mix up a bunch more of this colour and then basically just paint it on as the base coat. Somewhat predictably, I didn't mix up enough paint in the first batch, so I managed to use the paint that was left on the wet palette to mix up a second batch for the bottom, and it was near enough perfect, so much that I don't think you can really tell. Basically, I guess the lesson to be learnt is however much paint you think you need, probably double or triple it. Okay, so that's the inside pretty much done for now. I will come back and add some shadow and highlights later, but I want to turn my attention to the embellishments for the outside. So to start making the embellishments for the outside of the box, I move it to one side and then start slamming down clay on this cutting mat. I'm trying to make a sort of thin slab of clay. If you're a bit more professional than me, you can use a pasta machine or a rolling pin, but I didn't really want to mix the kitchen stuff with craft stuff. So my main idea for the embellishments is the metal banding that you get around traditional treasure chests. So I'm just going to cut strips out of this clay slab that I've made that are about the right length. I might have to piece a few together in places, and I will have to cut sort of notches out for the hinges and the front of the chest where it clasps together, but it should be relatively straightforward, theoretically. As expected, when the clay did dry, it did crack in quite a few places. I expected it because clay does shrink when it loses water, and I made the bands the exact length and width of the chest, so I'm just going to go around with little sausages of clay and fill in any gaps and try to blend it in so you couldn't tell. You might also notice that I added this cute little sign to the front of the chest, and we'll write a message on there later on. So the inside purple is a little bit darker than I expected once it dried. I do like that it's a sort of semi-gloss, so it looks a bit salivary and mouth-like, but I don't think I need to add any shadows here just because it's so dark already, so I'm just going to do highlights. First, I mixed a purple, but I used way more pink than I did originally, so it would be lighter, but I decided that even that wasn't really highlighting enough, so I just used a straight pink. So this is my interior paint job, pretty much done. I am going to go back and clean up the teeth and the eyes, but I'll do that off camera in time for the big reveal. The final proper bit of painting that I have to do is to paint all these metal bands a metal colour. So I've got the silver paint and I'm just going to go over everything that should be metal, including the nail in the sign. You might have noticed that I have put some wood stain over the sign just so that it actually looks a bit more wooden. So I'm glad to be finally on the finishing touches, and the first one is to write on this sign, and I'm going to write 3 dice, because that way it's kind of like the mimic's trying to lure you in, but in real life it also gives people an idea what's actually in the box. And the almost final step is to add some flock. To do this, I just put down some PVA glue wherever I want there to be flock and then sprinkle the flock over it. I'm going to mix the lighter and darker flock to make it look a bit more mossy, and hopefully this will really make the mimic look like it's been waiting around a while, just waiting for someone to eat. To make sure that the flock doesn't fall off, I have to seal it in. What I do is mix 1 part glue with 3 parts water and then just go over everywhere that I've put the flock. Okay, this is all dry, so now I'm just going to make the wash. What I'm going to do is put some black paint into one of these silicone cupcake cases and then add a bunch of water to it until it's really, really watered down. Just for reference, because I'm not actually sure if I should wash this one or not. Here's the before. So a wash is normally just watered down paint or watered down ink. You can get pre-made ones, but really what happens is that it goes and settles in all the creases and highlights the shadows, and hopefully it will give my metal a nice patina. And here it is after. I do think it's added a bit of antiquing to the metal. I'm going to leave this to dry and then show you the finished product, so I'll be back in just a second. There were definitely things I could have done differently and better with this project, but it was my first big craft project for Pigtree and I'm pretty happy with it. Thank you so much for watching, and please consider subscribing. There'll be more monster projects in future, and if you have any recommendations of what you'd like to see, let me know in the comments below.